Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, so today it is time to look at the top 10 cards of Crimson Invasion. I always save my top 10 list for the day the set is officially revealed. I know other people like to do their set reviews early, not me, ladies and gentlemen. I am a day of release kind of guy, so let's have a look at the top 10 cards of Crimson Invasion. Although it's actually a top 11 because I couldn't cut it down to 10. What I will say is we've got a clear 1, 2 and 3, and as far as I'm concerned, a fairly clear 4 and 5, and then a bit of a mess. So to start off with the honourable mentions, get down in the comments if you want to yell at me for being a moron about these. Chimecho. Chimecho's got a really nice attack that stops your opponent playing a Pokemon that has an ability from their hand. Problem is, it's got 70 HP and it's not actually going to last long enough to do much good disruption. I am sorry. I love that Kakuna has got the water duplicates that Frogadier has. That makes me extremely happy. I also like that Beedrill for 1 energy does 10 damage plus poison and paralysis if it evolved from a Kakuna this turn. But I don't think it's quite good enough to make my list, although I really want to be wrong about that. Lusamine is a nice card that allows you to get 2 in any combination of stadium cards and supporters from your discard pile into your hand. It's not a replacement for Versus Seeker, but you know what? It's going to be useful in some decks. And the other one which I really wanted to put on but couldn't was Alolan Marowak. For 0 energy, you get to search your discard for up to 5 cards and attach them to your Pokemon, 5 basic fire cards, in any way that you like. I don't know if anyone's going to play a stage 1 and use the attack just for this, but I think they might. So in at number 11, Alolan Golem-GX. Now I really like this for a couple of reasons. Firstly, doing 200 damage flat out for 4 energy and having the ability to use double colourless is pretty good. But the GX attack here is a little bit ridiculous. Same energy cost, 100 damage, your opponent cannot play any cards from their hand during their next turn. No energy, no supporters, no Pokemon, no nothing. If they don't have a board state to KO you this turn, they won't have a board state to KO you the following turn, and then you can hit them for 200. Maybe it's going to end up being too expensive, but I like it enough to put it in at number 11. In at number 10, a Pokemon that will be getting its own video in the very near future, although I did do first impression reviews of all of these cards. I'll put links to all of them in the description below. Mismagius. It's got Chaos Wheel that Giratina had for a single energy. And it stops you playing tall special energy or stadium cards the following turn. But it only does 30 damage. I'm not sure that's going to be enough, which is why it only comes in at number 10. Although, I may well be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. Check out my video on Mismagius very soon, where you can hopefully see exactly how it could be good. Coming in at number 9, we've got Miltank, and it's here for the ability Moo Moo Ale. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, heal 90 damage from that Pokemon. This is crying out to have a Float Stone attached to it. And then you just leave it in the active, attach energy, heal damage, retreat it, and off you go. For decks like Magnezone and Gardevoir that attach multiple energy per turns, this can allow you to heal multiple lots of 90 damage per turn. Gold Potion did this as an item and was good enough to be an ace spec. I think Miltank comes in at number 9. In at number 8, my boy, my personal favourite card from the set. Other than, of course, Mamoswine, but even I'm not going to pretend Mamoswine's good. We've got Registeel. I love Registeel. 1 metal energy, 30 damage, and you get to attach any basic energy from your discard to one of your bench Pokemon. This is a great starting Pokemon in any deck that plays metal or rainbow energy, and the second attack with a choice band can one-hit KO a Gardevoir. That, ladies and gentlemen, makes me very happy. In at number 7, we've got BUZZWOLE-GX. It's got Landorus's Hammerhead attack. 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. But you've got Strong Energy and Fighting Fury Belt and maybe even Regirock-EX to really increase the amount of damage you're doing with this. This will add up very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. This could be an outstanding attack, and this could really help you out in a whole bunch of games. I really like it. I quite like the second attack as well because, you know, you get to do 160 damage for free energy. Expensive but doable at times. The only thing I don't like is a GX attack. 40 damage for each prize card you've got remaining. Well, that's an early game GX attack, but in the early game, you just want to be using Jet Punch. And in at number 6, NIHILEGO-GX, and it's all about the ability. You play Nihilego onto the bench, and both active Pokemon are confused and poisoned. Automatic confusion, automatic poison. I know it's a 2-prize Pokemon that sits on your bench, but Hypnotoxic Laser was an item that was turned off by stuff like Trevenant and Seismitoad, and that still saw a huge amount of play. Nihilego is much more searchable as well. Now, as far as I'm concerned, 11 to 6, you can mix the order up as much as you like, and I shall not be upset. But I think 4 and 5 are in a tier all of their own, and starting off at number 5, we've got Gladion. Gladion is a really good supporter card as far as I'm concerned. It allows you to look at your face-down prize cards, put one of them in your hand, and then put Gladion into your prizes. It is a supporter card that allows you to search any card out of your prizes. Use an Ultra Ball, do your first deck search, or probably a bridge, it's more likely. That card I really want is prized. Well, that's alright. Tapu Lele for a Gladion, and you are guaranteed to be able to get it out of your deck. You cannot reliably search your deck for double colorless energy, but thanks to Gladion, now you can reliably search your prizes. And in at number 4, a Pokemon that I do not believe is getting anywhere near enough buzz. KARTANA-GX. I love KARTANA-GX, ladies and gentlemen. The ability is just an enhanced hammer, but it's searchable with stuff like Ultra Ball. And then it's got a GX attack, 1 Metal Energy, great with any deck that plays Rainbow. Take a prize. And I think this is great because early game you may end up KOing a starter Pokemon like Alolan Vulpix. You then KO 2 EXs. No, now I've got to KO a third EX to win the game. I'm taking 7 prizes. Oh no, wait! I'm just going to use Kartana's GX attack and I win the game. None of this can I KO anything, can I draw a Guzma rubbish. No, just announce Kartana's GX attack and win the game. But as far as I'm concerned, there is a clear top 3 in Crimson Invasion, and just like with 6 to 11, I would not be upset if you rearrange these. I think any of these could be number 1, although I am pretty set with my 1, 2 and 3. In at number 3, Counter Energy. Now, the weird thing about Counter Energy is it will probably be great, but we don't have any really good partners for it at the moment. The Octillery, weirdly enough from Crimson Invasion, seems like one of the best partners we've got, especially as a lot of people are already playing the Octillery from Breakthrough, so it's not difficult to tech this Octillery in. And essentially you would attach a Counter Energy and discard it to do 120. That's not bad for a tech Pokemon. Counter Energy is any 2 energy when it's attached to a non-EX, non-GX, and you're behind on prizes. We don't have great partners for it at the moment, but it's going to be in the standard legal format for 2 or 3 years, and at some point, ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced we will. Don't be surprised if this ends up number 1 when we do a retrospective in a couple of years. In at number 2, SILVALLY-GX, another card, which I believe could easily end up being number 1 in this set, and I could be looking back on the set in 3-4 years time because yes, this channel is going nowhere, going, how was Silvally not number 1? Now the thing about Silvally is it's got the memory cards which change its typing, but in Crimson Invasion we're only getting Psychic or Fighting, and Psychic's not that good. But it looks like we're getting all of them. In Japan they are already getting Fire and Lightning type, which means we've got a Stage 1 Pokemon that attacks for colourless energy, meaning it can go into any deck whatsoever, with a nice GX attack that does 50 damage for each Pokemon on your opponent's bench, 120 for free energy while accelerating energy, bearing in mind the memory cards make it whatever type you want it to be, and an ability that gives all your basic Pokemon free retreat. There's going to have to be one heck of a good card to come in at number 1 if SILVALLY-GX and Counter Energy aren't it. And ladies and gentlemen, there is. It's Counter Catcher. Counter Catcher is like a Pokemon catcher without the coin flip, as it used to be. Or a Lysander as an item card, as long as you're behind on prizes. And the reason why Counter Catcher comes in at number 1 is because I genuinely believe this will change the way that we actually play the game. This will change how we approach the Pokemon trading card game. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have cards like Raikou and Alolan Vulpix, starter Pokemon, and we're just going to leave them in the active, setting up behind them, saying to our opponent, go on then, KO my worthless single prize, that sounds really mean, doesn't it? Sorry. My worthless single prize Pokemon, and give me access to Counter Catcher so I can KO a GX on your bench. Pokemon Catcher was amazing, Lysander was amazing, Registeel Level X was amazing, Guzma is amazing. Why does anyone think Counter Catcher won't be game-breakingly amazing just because you have to be behind on prizes? If you've got 2 prizes remaining and your opponent has 1 prize remaining, you Counter Catcher a GX for the win. You are going to see this happen hundreds of times before this gets rotated. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, as with these lists, I want to know what you think. You gotta let me know in the comment section. Just remember, if you're going to put a card into the top 10, you've got to take a card out to make room. Tell me where in the top 10 it would go. Tell me what's coming out. And you know I will love you forever if you give a full top 10 in the comments. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc., you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.